Hello out there. We thank God for your life. This is still the review. We are reaching you as part of the outreach of Andrew Morgridge, specifically to the City of God blog. We thank God for times we spent together, and we are believing God today He will again speak to you as we review the church. What does God expect from the church? We've done so many things. We called it Back to Eden, the history of the church. That if you don't know who you are, from your history, there's just no way you can be focused on your tomorrow. And we've developed that to show you different aspects of why God created Adam. If Adam did a good job, there will be no need for Jesus. Because everything that God told Adam to do were the things, mark my words, were the things that Jesus came back to do. If Adam did not sin, there will be no need for redemption. The initial thing was, Adam, you are in charge. Multiply, bring birth to children in my image that look like me and not just look like me. They act like me. That's the meaning of likeness. If you check the Hebrew translation for the word likeness, image is prototype, 2 ears, 1 head, on and on like that. But likeness is how God does things. And that's just the essence of the whole Bible, showing you what to do, what not to do. From Genesis to Revelation, it's all the lessons of those who failed to do what God wanted, and then those who did the right thing, and God applauded them. We've listed all these things, no point going back to them. They are available on your video or your YouTube. You can go back to them and pick them up so that you can flow with us. I'm just picking up from the last broadcast where we were talking about what the devil did to Adam. Why did he do it? What the devil did to Adam to make him to fall, he had a good reason for him to pursue Adam to the point of separating him from God. And we need to look at this so that you can understand why the devil is so much after the Christian, to make sure he drives them away from the presence of God, like Adam and Eve were driven away from the Garden of Eden, which was in fact a symbolism of the presence of God. Because God says, Adam said, we heard your voice in the garden. And if you look at the Hebrew words, we heard your voice in the cool of the day. That cool of the day is wrongly interpreted, because the word ruach actually means the essence of God, the wind, the cool breeze, the very essence of God that Isaiah saw in Isaiah number 6, when he said he saw the glory of God and his train filled everywhere. That was what was recorded as the cool of the day. And we went on to show you that the word east, as God ended that Genesis chapter 3, that he placed cherubims with flaming swords at the east. If you look at the Hebrew word for east, you will see something that is not your right hand. What you will see is something that had existed before time. And that's exactly what God instituted the Garden of Eden to be. It was his administrative office. And as you check the word Eden, you will see it used even in the Old Testament, where you find the same set of people, same set of angels ministering in that place. And that's where we are going today, to show you the gap between Adam's creation and what transpired before that. So I'm going to the pre-Adamic age now. Why did God send Satan out? The full story is never documented. It's not documented. But as you pick two main scriptures, two main scriptures, and then you add two other scriptures, you will understand how things were that led to the fall of Satan and then the creation of Adam. And I'm going to pick in this one by one. In Isaiah number 14, as you read from 12, you will read about Satan called Lucifer, son of the bright star, son of the morning, proclaiming himself as God. Let me use the word proclaiming that he will be as God. Because everything you see there is I will, I will, I will, I will do this. I will ascend to the north. I will drive away God. I will be like the stars. I will have authority above the stars. Everything there, and God said, you will be cast down, and nobody will rate you at a point in time. Today, everybody is afraid of you. But when they see you for who you truly are, a defeated foe, then everybody will say, is it the devil that did this, did this? Kingdoms fell, World War, Second World War, different kinds of insurrections, armed robbery. Is it the personality that did all this? And people will look keenly at him. But that's for the future. The understanding here is he was a prominent person in God's kingdom. He was, in fact, the regent of earth. He was ruling on earth. And that is so simple to find out. It's not rocket science. The Bible says, I will exalt my throne above the stars. The question is, who has a throne? It's a king that has a throne. What is under the stars? It is the earth that is under the stars. So, put the two together, Satan was king of the earth. Well, howbeit, you know, when God made Adam and told him, have dominion, he was supposed to be in partnership with the Lord. Whatever you call him as regent or ruler of the earth, it was supposed to be in partnership with the creator of everything, who wants to be involved personally in everything that concerns you. In 1 Peter chapter 5, as you read from, I think, from 6, the portion that began to speak about resisting the devil, unto 8 there, he said, cast your cares on him because he cares for you. If you look at the word care for you in the Greek, what you will see is he wants to be involved in everything that concerns you. It's not just your school, what you eat, what you don't eat. I remember reading a book by Randy Alcorn's wife. I think her name Nancy. She was writing about when she was young and she was big. And she did not like being big. She wanted to be slim. And then she tried everything possible. She did everything to make herself slim. Dieting, drugs, not cocaine, and when I say drugs, things that will make you not to want to eat. And at the end of the day, God told her, can I help you, please? She said, Lord, help me. And God told her what to do, what to do, what to do. And before she knew it, she had become slim. Just an example that God cares about every aspect of your life. So it wasn't that Satan had free reign to do whatever he had. And I think it was the restrictions that actually pushed him to say, oh, why is this God hammering me like this? Don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. I will be like him. I will do whatever I like, whenever I like it. And that was what caused him to do a coup. Let me use the word attempt a coup. And God cast him down. When he was cast down, he saw Adam over time becoming his replacement. Because God was telling him exactly what he was doing that time. You will be my ambassador here. You will display heaven on this place. And you will reproduce people who will be like you, my sons, across the whole world. And he just couldn't stand it. And that was how he faced Adam and caused him to disobey God. He knew what will make God to be angry to the point of saying, get away from me. Bible says in Romans chapter 6 verse 16, said, don't you know that you become a servant to whoever you obey? He knew that, maybe Adam did not know, but he knew that once you cross the boundary, what the literature people or those good in English will tell you, once you cross the Rubicon, then it's time for war. He knew what will make you to cross the Rubicon. He disobeyed God. He led him, prompted him, progged him into disobedience. And God said, I don't want such a person that will move like Satan. I want godly children. He said that in Malachi chapter 2. I want godly children. I want people in my image and likeness. And those are the things that Jesus came to do again. When Paul called him in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 45, when God called Jesus the last Adam. Not the second. If you say second, there will be a third. The last Adam. Because everything that Adam was created to do, it truncated when he disobeyed God. Jesus had to come to start all this all over again. So as we look at this, the next thing we will do, when next we see ourselves, when next we meet on this platform, is to look at the principle or the concept of dominion. Because that was the last thing God told Adam, multiply and then have dominion. But let's just finish this aspect of life before Adam. So I've shown you Isaiah number 14, and I've shown you 12 to 14, the rebellion of Satan, called Lucifer at that point. If you read Ezekiel chapter 28, you will see from verse 13 to 18 how God made Lucifer beautiful and every other wonderful things. And God said something specific. He said, you became proud because of the multitude of trafficking that you did. In other words, to back up what I said about him being a regent, he was running errands for God. He was controlling a set of people or kingdom on behalf of God. That was what God said, trafficking, much trafficking. You can read it in other translations and you will see it implies doing something for me. Up and down, up and down. As you read Genesis chapter 28 verse 12, you will see this one again come to light. Jacob was running away from his brother after taking his birthright, and he got to a place, and then he slept. And as he slept, the heaven opened up, and he saw angels ascending and descending, ascending and descending, ascending and descending. Angels were God's ministering spirits. He sent them to the earth, across the earth, to do certain things for him, whatever he chose. And he saw them coming and going, coming and going. That is the trafficking that Satan was overseeing, especially concerning the earth. Up and down, up and down. In the time of Jacob, Satan had fallen, he'd been cast away. So you still find angels doing the same trafficking and trafficking and trafficking on behalf of God. As you read Zechariah chapter 1 again, you will see a set of angels. He said, I saw green horses, I saw in chariots. He saw different kinds of things, different kinds of beings, and he called them horses. A horse driving a horse. I don't understand. But they were inside chariots, and their job was to watch over the earth. He said they went across the earth, different locations, and they came back and reported back to God. And the question came, how goeth the earth? And they said, everything is still, no activity to report, nothing negative to report. Specifically, it had to do with Israel and the restoration of the temple at that time. Because if you read according to context, what followed was, how long will you have this indignation against Jerusalem, your own land? And then the angel interceded and God said, okay, speak peaceably to these people. Zerubbabel, Joshua, you are the leaders at this time. You will build up this place again. You will bring forth the headstone rock with a shout of grace, grace, grace. By the time you reach chapter 2 going forward, the sins of the land, he forgave. The sins of the leaders, represented by Joshua the high priest, he changed his garments. Satan was there again, blocking the will of God from being fulfilled on the earth. That's something he has been doing since the time of Adam. He saw it worked, and he's still doing it even after Jesus had come and gone, saving the world from his bondage. He still tries to pull them back into his bondage as he brings sin into their lives. Isaiah number 59. As you read from verse 1, he said, the hand of the Lord is not short that he cannot save. It is your sin and your iniquity that has separated you from God. Who brings it to you? Who causes people to sin? Who brings iniquity to your system? It is the devil. That is his job. So as long as you understand that he understands who you are, he had fallen from grace, from authority, from position, and God created Adam to replace him. And the seeds of Adam were to replace the fallen angels that joined him to rebel against God. Satan knows all this, and he's working day and night to make sure that you don't make it to the end when you begin to take full authority and fit into the role of replacing him and the fallen angels. How do I know? They confronted Jesus in Matthew 22, 24 to 30, and said, what about this woman? She had had 7 husbands. Who shall be the husband on the day of resurrection and after? And Jesus said, no, it's not like that. In heaven, you don't give people in marriage. They shall be as the angels. When he said they shall be as the angels, it is a loaded sermon by itself. But on the periphery, as you look at it, it was simply saying, they shall now be my angels. They shall now be the ones that will run with me in my creation. Look at Genesis chapter 18, for example. God showed up. He showed up with 2 angels. Abraham recognized them. He served them. He reverenced them. He respected them. A time came when they were going to Sodom and Gomorrah, and it was the 2 angels that went there that meted out judgment on Sodom and Gomorrah. God was there, but it was the 2 angels that ended up at Lot's house and pronounced judgment and caused judgment to come on Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities of the plains. When it was time to defend Hezekiah, in one night, one angel killed 186,000 people, wiped out the Syrians and the Assyrians that came to harass him. That is the role of angels. As you read Genesis chapter 32, you will see as Jacob left Laban, angels joined him because they knew that Esau was waiting for him on the road to kill him. Angels joined him to make sure that this destiny carrier will fulfill the plans of God for himself and the nation called Israel. Angels were doing it. Now just flip over to Isaiah number 32. As you pick from verse 1, it says, a king shall reign in righteousness. Princes shall reign with him in judgment. Partnership. God and princes, his children. He went on to define these princes in the next verse. and a man, they are human beings today, shall be like a hiding place for people, a covert, something that protects you from storm. A man shall be like a river flowing here and there, blessing people. So God began to practice our role for us even as we are living today, God's children today. That's what the devil doesn't want. He knows you are practicing today to replace him. Because when you get to Revelation chapter 14, verses 1 to 4, you will read about a special people that stood with God on Mount Zion. Mount Zion has the same appellation, same meaning, same connotation. The same people that were there in Mount Zion are the same people that is called Garden of Eden. Because you can also pick it up from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 22 to 24. You will see there again that at the end of time, after rapture, you will see the people. He said, they will be the church of the firstborn, innumerable company of angels, God the judge, Jesus the owner of the firstborn of the church. And then you find just made perfect. People who will be there. They were not there. At the time you read of Ezekiel 28, look at the classification of people called the people in that Garden of Eden. This is not the only one. In Micah, you will see the mountain of God as well. The classification of the people there. By the time you get to Hebrews chapter 12, the church is now part of the group of angels in that place. Just men made perfect. Special people who finished their assignment. Because that's the meaning of just men made perfect there. The word perfect there is tele-o-o, and that one means someone who finished his assignment. Like Jesus said, it is finished. Like Paul said, I have finished my course. I've run the race to the end. I've fought a good fight. Those are the meanings that you find as just men made perfect. If you are using the Greek to interpret made perfect. You can't make the just person perfect. Just is just. You have attained righteousness. It's imputed righteousness that is called justification. So here he's saying, not only did they receive justification, they ran with it to finish the assignment I gave them. So by the time you get to Revelation 14, these special people, they are standing there with God. And he went on to say, only they know the song, only they have a new name. As you read further, he said, they shall go with Jesus wherever he goeth. Once upon a time, it was angels that went with him. I saw the Lord in the time King Uzziah died. His train filled the temple. An angel came to me and put coal of fire upon my mouth and said, you are now whole. You are now good. Go for us. So an angel that came. But here now, you see, is now God's children. Those who went in the rapture. Among them, a special people who did wonderfully when they were on earth. He said, these ones will now replace the angels. 144,000 is not the number of those that will go in rapture. Literally billions. Only God knows the number. But it's definitely more than 144. These were just a classification. Like angels had classifications. Like you found the archangel. Then you find the other ordinary angels. Then you find the ministering spirits. You find Archangel Gabriel, whose job was to make pronouncements, bring messages from God. Archangel Michael, the warrior angel. So you find classifications are there. Paul said it in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. He said, we shall not shine equally. As the glory of the sun is different from that of the moon or the stars, so shall it be with us when we get to heaven. There's a classification that is already in the mind of God. When the mother of the sons of Zebedee came and said, let this my son sit on your right hand, this one on your left. And he said, no, it's not for you to decide. It's not for me to decide. At the end of the day, what you've done for the Lord will count, and you will fall into your lot in that place called heaven. So, Revelation chapter 19 now, you find the people who came down with him to fight the Antichrist, the Third World War, in the war of Gog and Magog. The war of Armageddon. They were human beings who were already in heaven, the redeemed of the Lord, gathered from the four ends of the heaven, will join him to come down again to fight. Once upon a time, it was angels that were doing it. Now it is the redeemed of the Lord. Telling you in very simple terms that after he fell, then God began to choose a new set of people that will replace Satan and the fallen angels. This is where I'm going to stop. Next week, next time around, I will show you scriptures that will confirm again that there was a civilization before Adam and Eve. And then we will go to other things as well. We want you to like, subscribe, and share. The review is simply to throw light on things that are not so clean. I use the word so clean deliberately, that is muddy. People are confused, and people just take decisions and arrive at their own conclusion that this is what this scripture means. The review by the Spirit of the Lord aims to just throw light on these scriptures and these doctrines that people have run wild with. And I'm saying that enough of assumptions. Let's get it right. And that's what the review is all about. You will join us, pray you will join us next time. Once you subscribe, you will have notification when we drop another video. Run with the things that you have heard. Share so that other people may benefit from it. As you share, you are joining us to do the work of God. Whatever reward God gives for this program, you will get the same amount of reward. Because Jesus said the one that gives a cup of water to his prophet will get the same reward as that of the prophet. It's all a matter of repeating the things that we heard from the Master, run with it. And you find it in Scripture. Paul told his disciple, his son, Timothy, in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. He said, Timothy, my son, be strong in the faith, in the grace that is in the Lord Jesus Christ. Use grace. Don't let it be dormant. And then the things I've taught you, teach others, who will teach others, who will teach others. As you speak the things that you've heard, after checking them from the scriptures, and as you share, as you like, you're doing exactly what Paul told Timothy and those who will hear him. Let's leave it here. God bless you till another time.